An error occurred. Wait a moment and try again. Okay, we will. Well, that is strange. Said an error occurred.
I go where everyone is friendly. I go where I am known. I go where I'm not an illusion. Where I go, I've noticed. Everybody goes there. Everybody goes there.
There we are. I'm not sure what happened there, but here we are. Welcome to Around Town TV. My name is Carla Berlin, and I'm thrilled to have with me tonight. She is the 2024 SBA Women in Biz champion. She is a four-time published author, a speaker, social entrepreneur, as well as the founder and CEO of Nature's Beauty Syrup. Please welcome Devonna Pittman. Welcome, Devonna.
Hello. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, for those who maybe haven't heard of Nature's Beauty Syrup till I started promoting it, especially my followers and viewers, what is Nature's Syrup Beauty?
Well, Nature Syrup Beauty is a brand that is focused on and believes in bringing products that are green, clean, and effective. And I started the business in 2017 for one main reason. I had curly hair all my life, but I didn't know that I had curly hair because I was given a chemical relaxer to straighten my hair when I was about 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
So my hair was straight for as long as I could remember. And in 2012, I decided to chop it off, get rid of the relaxers, the chemicals, and experience my hair the way it grew out of my scalp, which is very kinky, very curly, very coily. When I did that, I had no idea that I would not be able to find what I needed for my hair.
Yeah.
In the process, I realized that the products that I was using were amazing for my skin. The main ingredient in our hair care is shea butter. And
Oh.
shea butter is so amazing on your skin.
Mhm.
And one thing led to another, and it's 2025, and we now formulate hair and skin care that people can trust, that people can put on their skin. You know, most of it you can actually eat and be okay.
I love that. Well, and like many businesses and starting out as a solopreneur, you have a really great story. Nature Syrup Beauty started in a kitchen. What were the early days like, and what helped your brand grow into national retailers?
The early days were a lot of fun. It was simple. It was just, me going into my kitchen, playing around with different formulas, giving it to my friends and family to try and, taking their advice and shifting and, just coming up with these great formulas and trying different fragrances. It was very simple. I would sit at my kitchen table. At the time, my daughters were both in college, so they helped me package a lot of the products and we labeled things. My girlfriends would come over, we'd sit around the table and have wine and label products. It was so much fun. And then somewhere around, 2017, I was like, you know what? I think I have something here.
Mm-hmm.
I kept feeling like it's taking up a lot of my time. Maybe I should just quit it because I don't have time for it anymore. I had a full-time job. I had worked for Hennepin County for 18 years. And at that time, I said, you know what? This is just taking up way too much of my time. I think I need to just, put it down.
Mm-hmm.
But people were like, no, you can't stop. You can't stop making it. We love it. Like, you've already gotten us to fall in love with these products. You can't stop making the products. And I didn't. So I went into this mode of finding people to talk to. I had meetings with major retailers. And at that time, I had no idea nature syrup would expand the way it did. I never saw it. To me, it was like this hobby. It was a way to make
Oh,
a little
interesting.
extra money on the side. And it really just calmed me. I self-label myself as attention deficit disorder, OCD, ADD, all of that. I'm all the letters. But it was the one thing that got me to calm down a little bit and again get out of my head about a lot of
Mm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2018, 2019, I decided to quit my job after running for office, of course.
Yes.
I ran for Hennepin County Commissioner in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost by a very
It was
narrow margin.
narrow.
It was very narrow, like, less than 1%.
Oh,
And it was devastating. It was devastating. I did not plan to not be on the 23rd floor being the District 1 commissioner. There was no plan B. And when I lost, I had to reposition myself. I had
right.
to really think about what was next.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a very crazy decision.
Commitment.
I made a commitment. It was
Yeah.
very crazy at the time. I mean, I had good health insurance,
Oh,
you
yes,
know,
I understand.
decent pay, and I stepped out of the boat. Speaking of, I just jumped. I jumped, and I went to work for a small nonprofit for 1 year, just
Mm-hmm.
really trying to figure out, okay, am I really supposed to go all in with nature syrup? And after being with that company for 1 year, it was very clear to me that I was a builder, I was a creator, I was
Yes.
strategic, and I had been putting a lot of energy into other people's visions. And
Yes.
now it was time for me to go full time in something that I knew I loved to do. And within 4 months, we were in Macy's.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
4 months? That's
within,
almost unheard of.
I know, within 4 months of going full time, we launched in to Macy's online, and then shortly after, like 5 months after that, we launched into Walmart. So it
Mm.
was like not only serendipity, but it was the proof that I needed, you know, to reassure me that I was going in the right direction.
Mhm. I could see you on some of the home shopping networks.
Oh,
Yes, you would be
I,
fabulous. Now that
yeah,
I've had you on, I could see you doing that. I know you have to be careful with product because you have to have so many, and
yes,
I've seen them. But yes, I've seen them help people scale quickly, and then I've seen the opposite if it's not
you got
done
to be
correctly.
ready.
Yes. So I digress. That wasn't a list of questions. I just thought of that. But I had never interviewed you. I've only talked to you in person. It was a long time ago, but I've watched you scale things for other people. I know you're a builder. I know that about you. So it's been a pleasure to watch you bring this to life. I'm going to kind of switch gears. You use the term, or in a lot of the background information of your team, curly hair crisis, and it's powerful. Can you explain what that means and how your brand, Nature's Syrup Beauty, is addressing that?
Yeah, the curly hair crises is, that narrative is something that we came up with after just really thinking about, like, what is the problem? What is the real
Mhm.
problem that we're trying to address? And just a couple weeks ago, I thought about how my white girlfriends, when
Yeah,
they go to get their hair done, they go to get their hair done.
right,
Girl, I'm going to get my hair done. When
right.
I go to get my hair done, I'm going to get my hair fixed.
Oh, interesting.
I'm
And
going
I do
to,
anything I can to get curl in my hair and
yes,
body.
yes.
We always want what we don't have.
Yeah. So when you think about the whole mental gymnastics that any of us do to feel beautiful,
Yes.
to believe that our hair is acceptable or
Mhm.
beautiful,
Or to
And
feel
a
better.
lot of even my white girlfriends who have curly hair have been groomed to believe that it's not okay to have curly hair.
Yeah.
But so many people are embracing their curls now. And so with that, we say we are here to solve the curly hair crises. And the crisis is not in the hair. The crisis in what we believe we should look like, or how we should embrace this tendency to be beautiful, or this
Right.
idea of what beauty is.
Yes. Amen to that. You as the founder and CEO of Nature's Beauty Syrup have had a unique path. You've touched on a few things. You've earned a master's degree in police leadership, to running for office, and just about one narrowly didn't win. I can't say the word lost because I don't feel you.
Came
There's
short. Came
yeah,
short.
came
I
short.
found the
There we
words.
go.
I came short.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mhm.
How did that experience or those experiences shape Nature's Syrup Beauty brand? Help and shape that.
One of the main one of the main growth points, as I like to call it for me, was that I finally started to believe that I could lead
Oh, wow.
and build. And it's not that I hadn't been doing that all along.
Yes.
I had been doing it. I had been leading initiatives and leading programs, and making these very intentional community engagement connections through the county.
Right.
But really hadn't been allowed to lead in a leadership role that would get me to six figures,
Ah.
you know?
Mhm.
Um, Not until I left. Not until I
Interesting.
left. And so when I came short, 1,292 votes out of 85,000 votes, I knew what I could
Mhm.
do. I knew in that race, I raised more money than has ever been raised in District 1 history. I received more votes in the primary than has ever been received in a primary. And more people voted in that election for that district than had ever voted. So it was a pandemic year. I
Yes.
knocked on so many doors, and no one else was really knocking on doors.
Right.
So all I needed was maybe another 50 people to go out and tell another 50 people, and I could be sitting in that seat. But since that didn't happen, and I do believe that everything happens for a reason,
Same.
um, I knew what I was capable of, and I
Mhm.
knew that I had great products. The products speak for themselves. I knew that if I could just get into a position where I could talk to people about nature syrup beauty, if I could believe in myself enough to do this thing full time, that it would be successful, and it has been.
Absolutely. And we had somebody post, Anne. Oh, thank you, Anne. She wrote, full time into your vision in 4 months. Courageous. Good for you, Devana. Hair done versus fixed. Interesting. Love it. Beauty mogul. Well, there we go. See, our viewers
Yeah.
are already giving you, and you are the beauty mogul. I was thinking of that tonight, earlier today when we were doing our test. You are incredible. And we never know why things happen, but those experiences do shape. And I just think for you, soon this will be dust in your tracks. Just a gut feeling.
I will
But I
receive that. I receive it. Thank you.
good. You're welcome. Yes. What impact does the partnership with the women of Ghana have on both ends, their communities and your products?
Um, I it's the partnership is so near and dear to my heart. It Women are able to eat and
Mm.
feed their families, and pay for school.
Oh, wow.
The things that we take for granted here in the United States
Hmm.
are not that easy for women in rural Ghana. The village that we work with, um, the people there are so amazing. They're so skilled, and we had an opportunity to meet with the chief I mean, it's a
Mhm.
real chief. Like it, when you think about traditions, like we don't have the sort of communal traditions
No,
here
no, we
that are
don't.
in rural villages in other countries. And it's one of the
Mhm.
coolest things. And I'm so honored to be able to have been up close with these women, meet their families, have lunch with them, have them prepare our food, and welcome us into the village with their instruments, and then um, go into the chief's home and be blessed by him to do business with the women in the village. It is so inspiring, and it's so, I just don't really have the words to say
Mhm.
how much of an honor that is. And so when we bring their shea butter here,
Mm.
shipped from Ghana, made
Oh,
by hand by these beautiful women and their children, because they're teaching the kids. The kids are there every day with
the
them when
skill
they
set.
get out of school, so they're watching them make the shea butter,
Mm.
and they want to grow up and they want to make shea butter and they want to make a living. So, knowing the social impact that Nature Syrup is making through this partnership, it makes it all worth it. And when people use the products, that's people are always like, oh my God, there's so much love. And
Mhm.
we make it here with love. We bring the shea butter here and we mix it, and we make our skin creams with it. And you can literally feel the love in every bottle.
Oh, absolutely. And just learning about just talking to you and prior to when I was researching just about your products, you can feel that definitely. And what an impact you're making in Ghana as well. I mean, I mean, and they are for us here in the United States by packaging these with so much love and such special ingredients like the shea butter. That seems to be that. I mean, when you said you had kids that graduating from college, I'm like, all right, I need some of that shea butter. And my guest last week, Nicole Mittendorf, and if you're watching, thanks, Nicole, she has some of your products. She's like, they're amazing. So that's an a testament to what you're doing for sure. You've
Yeah. And I was
you
just gonna say,
yes.
for people who don't know what shea butter is, shea butter
Mhm.
grows on a tree in Ghana, and the nuts actually fall from the tree, and the
Oh,
women sort through thousands of shea nuts, and they pick the
oh.
best ones. And so, they're so very particular about it too, and it
Mhm.
takes a whole lot of time. So that's what
Mhm.
you feel. That's what people feel when they use the
And the
product.
shea butter is inside the nuts?
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
very
They
cool.
crush it and get the nut and roast it and add a little water, and then they just mix it for hours, like 6 hours. Women are taking turns in this big barrel just mixing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and as you're seeing, with Miss Devonna Pittman on air right now, her background is, gorgeous, but it's not a fake background. That is her it's the Curls and, Culture Lounge, right, that you're
Yes.
in right now?
Yes.
Tell us more about the Curls and Culture Lounge and what inspired this space and what happens there.
The Curls and Culture Lounge is such a, I love it here. I love it here. I really do. I never wanted a store. And people may have heard me say from the very beginning, I don't want a brick and mortar. I don't
Right.
want to feel trapped
Mhm.
between an 8 to 5 schedule. I want to sleep in, come to work. I do work late.
Mhm.
I just didn't want a traditional store. That was, my whole plan,
Right.
to make sure we had headquarters. We have a lab, we have our fulfillment center, I have an office, we have a front desk, and that was all I wanted. Well, when I moved into my office, there was this extra space that literally is a door connecting to my office, my headquarters, and it was vacant for like 6 months. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? What does it mean? And
Uh,
I really didn't want someone else to be in this space because it's so it's so close to my, like a door, a whole door. And so I got to thinking about, well, it wasn't a store? What if it was a space where people could come in and shop, but we
Mhm.
set our hours? We're open 3 to 4 times a month. We could have educational sessions. We could do a podcast. We could, have, if people just wanted to stop in and get products, they can, we can check schedules. And if we're here, they can come in and, so that was the original idea. And
Uh-huh.
we were able to get the space. So the Curls and Culture Lounge is a space for community.
Mm.
When people come in here, we offer them tea, we offer them coffee, we offer them conversations, and we hear their stories about how they were connected to nature syrup. We do a lot of
Mm.
pop-ups in the community, and some people I've never met before. Some people know nature syrup and they don't know me.
Right.
So
Or
when they come, or vice versa.
I was just going to say vice versa because most people know you.
Right. Some people might know me and they might not know, oh, that's your business. I'm like, yeah. So the Curls and Culture Lounge is this very comfortable, cool space where people can come in here and let their hair down. I can pretty much look at anybody's hair and tell them exactly what they need. But I want it to feel like a living room. I want people to come in here and not feel like, it's transactional.
Hmm. Like a
Um,
stale store, and it doesn't. You could tell from the pictures
exactly.
in your background. It's beautiful and
Yeah.
welcoming.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
that's pretty much it. And so the Curls and Culture Lounge, um, we want it to be a conversational piece where people can come in and let's talk. Let's talk about our hair stories, which
Hmm.
is what we're going to be doing very soon. What's your hair story? I'll be interviewing people here on our podcast.
Oh,
Um, we'll be
fantastic!
launching very soon, so stay tuned. But we want to
Absolutely.
hear it. We want to hear your hair story.
Absolutely. One of the viewers or followers did ask, how did Devana come to invent this formula?
Trial and error. Trial and error.
Yes.
Um, Thank God for the good old internet and Google and YouTube. I initially spent a lot of time researching and playing around with different fragrances. And of course, a lot of people in 2012, 2013, a lot of Black women were chopping off their hair and creating their own products. So I was
Oh,
definitely inspired by people thinking like, oh, she's making her own products. I can make mine too. I can try different scents but it was trial and error,
okay.
making things that I hated and starting all over again.
Well, you've perfected it. That's clear. What are some of the myths or misunderstandings people have about caring for natural textured hair?
That it's difficult to do, um, that the hair is rebellious, and absolutely my hair is very resilient and rebellious.
Mhm.
But it loves to be loved. And I like to say, my hair loves to be happy. And when you give your hair what it needs, it will be very happy. Um, one myth is that it doesn't grow. Natural hair doesn't grow. If you don't put chemicals in it, if you don't straighten it, you can't have long, luscious hair. And I've proved that to be wrong. My hair, I chopped it off 6 months ago. It grows back very easily. If you look like the video that you showed earlier, that
Yep.
was a couple months ago. My hair grows really fast.
Interesting.
But I also have hair growth oils and hair growth activators. And so I hear from some people, they're like, well, your hair grows anyway. So how can you sell me a hair growth product? If you don't take care of your hair, it won't grow. If you
Yes.
don't give it the right nutrients, it won't grow.
That is
Um,
so true for anybody.
yeah, it's what you put in your body and what you put on your hair.
Yes. So, so, so true. And having fine, thin blonde hair, I have to be careful even when I trim my hair because my hair does not typically, but with even though I was
Mhm,
born naturally blonde and I'm more probably naturally gray now, but coloring
mhm.
it. And, that's not none of that is good for it. The blow dryer, the curling iron, the hot rollers, none of that is good for our hair. So if you're someone who already struggles, even if I'm eating right, I find that, that is a deterrent for sure.
Yeah.
How has your faith, I know you have a strong faith, played a role in the evolution of nature's syrup beauty?
Oh my goodness. Oh, if I didn't have faith, I would not be here
Mhm,
today. I would not. There's no way. Every day is a faith walk, and
mhm.
every day is a faith walk. And one of the scriptures: trust in the Lord with all thy heart, thy mind, and thy mind, heart, mind, soul, whatever that
Yes.
scripture is.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, but I trust that if God put me here, He is going to make sure that nature syrup is all that it's supposed to be, with all their heart, mind, and soul. Yeah, and I believe that. I believe that we are all born with talents
Mhm.
and things that we're supposed to do while we're on this earth. And I know that I am a multi-potentialite.
Yes, you are. Yes.
And that could be frustrating sometimes. It's very frustrating because I'm a creative. My
Mhm.
daddy was a DJ. My mother was my daddy, I always say my daddy was a DJ and my mother was a bartender.
Okay.
So
Well, they're creating.
they're creating
Mhm.
and musically inclined. They're both musically inclined. My mom is a pastor now. But
Oh,
yeah, she went from being a bartender to healthcare to a pastor.
interesting.
But I'm a creative. I'm created to build things,
Mhm.
um, and I don't always know what that looks like. And so I'm pretty sure we'll talk a little bit more about the
Mhm.
future of nature syrup
Yes.
and what
Yep.
it feels like, what it looks like.
Yes.
But I believe that our lives have chapters,
Yes.
and
Agree.
we're all called to do things in those chapters. And there's a lot of energy in this chapter.
Hmm.
And my goal is to always be obedient and open and, and be ready to lead in this particular chapter, even though I don't know what the end's going to be.
Well, God gave you a skill set, and if you're listening, as you are, He might have you pivot a few times, but as you said, it'll be fun to watch you and see where that goes. And to that, one of the questions somebody asked was Anne again asked, "Does Devana have a mentor and inspiration? Someone who gives you inspiration?"
Yes.
Good
So,
questions, Anne.
very, very good question. Because the weird thing is, there are a lot of women around me who inspire me, a lot of entrepreneurial women
Hmm.
who are building businesses. Like, I am around women who are multimillionaires,
Hmm.
and I'm not there yet.
You
But
will. You
I
will be.
will. I believe that. I will. I
Hmm.
believe that.
Hmm.
Um, but the not the odd thing, but the interesting thing is, I don't know personally any women who have built a beauty brand
Hmm.
and scaled it. I read a lot about women,
Hmm.
and some of my competitors have built brands, scale brands, and have been acquired, and now are somewhere off in the sunset. Their stories are still there to
Yes.
learn from. But I am inspired by, I'm a member of NABO, the National Association
Yes,
of Black Business
fantastic
Owners.
organization. We've done
Yeah.
some of their live streaming, and I've emceed their, Hall of Fame awards several times.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Yeah. So I mean, I am connected to some brilliant business owners.
Yes,
One
you
who I think you should interview, my cousin,
okay.
Babette Buckner.
Oh,
You
okay.
should interview her.
Okay.
And then one of
Send me
my,
your contact
I
information.
will. I
Yes.
will. I will send it to you.
Thank you.
And then another one of my girlfriends, Damaris Hollingsworth,
Okay.
these women are doing amazing and they are like right at my hip. So when I feel like I need some inspiration, they are right there, and I'm so inspired by them. So to have those women close and watch them, I have watched them build their businesses when I was still working a job, and to see them now building $1 million brands is
Mhm.
yeah. So I consider those ladies my mentors. Um,
And also, I think
along
when
with
we
yeah,
follow people like that, they give us hope too.
yes.
Yes, and we all need that. What message does Nature Cert Beauty hope to send to women who are afraid to embrace their natural hair?
Beauty is skin deep. It,
Yeah.
it's here.
Mhm.
I am the same person when I shave off my hair and when I let it grow out.
Mhm.
Um, the journey is really about getting to know your hair in its natural state. Even if you decide to do something different, I
Mhm.
believe every person should spend some time with all of who they are.
Mhm.
And your hair is all of who you are. It's a part of all of who you are. For me, when I chopped off my hair the first time after only knowing my hair in a chemical
Mhm.
relaxer, it was the most validating and liberating experience that I have ever had.
Yeah.
And I understand why when all of a sudden you see these celebrities and they're bald, like they've
Yes.
shaved their hair off.
Mhm.
It is such a spiritual awakening. So, I mean, I don't know. Shave it off. It feels amazing. But
Okay.
really, really, if you haven't had the experience of getting to know the fullness of who you are, that's one way to do it.
Oh, wow. And I imagine, and I can only imagine, and my mother went through it several times as she struggled with breast cancer for 27 and a half years,
Mhm.
losing her hair to chemo. And what that, I mean, a whole different, it wasn't a choice, but,
Yes,
and how liberating, and then you're sick and you're fighting. So I can't even imagine.
yes,
That says a lot. What a good life lesson to attempt.
absolutely. And
Mhm.
women with who have been battling cancer and taking chemotherapy come to us to
Mhm.
get their hair growing back. So,
Okay, good to know.
something to think about.
Absolutely. So, for those of you, and I think we all know somebody who has or maybe is currently going through chemotherapy and losing their hair. And if you need some really good products, I know that, as I said, Nicole uses them, and some other people that I know, then they rave about your products. So, I encourage you to reach out to Devana on her products and her Curls and Culture Lounge. And I want to talk about next of, we've touched on this a couple times, but what is next for the brand? Any exciting launches or expansions that we should or can know about?
Yeah, there's a lot happening. A couple of things I'm really, really proud of is, let me see if I can reach this.
Sure, no problem.
Really, really proud of, excuse me, got my booty in the camera. So I told Carla we're gonna be like two good girlfriends on this on her call today.
Yes, yes.
So I
I
only know
love
how to be
that.
me.
And deep,
But
we've had deep conversation. And I
yeah,
think that's, good for those who are following us, because it really, hopefully we're helping people
yeah,
who
I
are
believe we
watching.
are. I believe we are. Product launches. So our top selling product is our body butters. This is, what we make, we use to make the shea butter. It's a skin cream, but
Mm.
we recently just got all new labels on these. So we're really, really proud of our new labels. Um,
Oh, yeah,
so
they're beautiful. Can you use that on your face as well?
you can, you
Is
can,
that
but we have a beauty serum and we have a facial rejuvenation kit.
is that what you use? Your skin is spectacular. It's so
Thank you.
beautiful. Yeah.
That's what I use.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, our one of our top selling products is our collagen facial soap.
Ooh,
It is amazing. I'll have to make sure you get some.
I would love that.
Collagen facial soap and a beauty serum and a beauty cream. So those things, that's all I use on my skin. Um, but when we talk about what's next for Nature Syrup Beauty. Um, there's a lot happening. We just partnered with a company to help us because we're small. It's
Mhm.
me, my chief of staff, and then I have four folks who help us out in the field. You might see our tent out a lot this summer. So, um, you know, if you go to our Instagram page, we'll share where we're going to be each week.
Oh, good.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, we always try to share at the beginning of the month so people know, and people are asking, like, where are you guys going to be?
So Instagram page is the one. Okay. And I'll
The
make sure
Insta-
when I'll tag this on that as well for those looking for that.
yes, the
Okay.
Instagram page. But we are right now in the very beginning stages, or not beginning stages, but we're getting ready to launch our crowdfunding campaign, hopefully within the next 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
We want to be able to raise $5 million to launch, I mean, to really just scale the business to get us prepared for more partnerships.
Love it.
Um, so we're working on just refining. Right now we have like 40 products on the website,
That's great.
35, 40 products, and it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Um, it is a lot, and it's really tough. It's really tough to figure out what goes and what stays. But
Mhm.
that's the process that we're in right now. We're also working on some back end optimization with our website. We partnered with an administrative um, company to just come in and help us focus on our KPIs and what are the goals that we're trying to reach this quarter. And we want to be ready when we start raising that money within the next 30 to 45 days,
Mhm.
have those structural pieces in place so Nature Syrup becomes a household name.
Well, and I believe that it will. I have a feeling someday someone will try to acquire it from you. That's my prediction. What else did you want to share with our viewers and followers that I haven't asked you, or you think um, is important of the products or the story?
Yeah, the one thing that I haven't mentioned yet that I'm really excited about is the release of my new book,
Oh, your
the, my
fourth
fourth
published.
book, the Beauty Brand Playbook.
Mm,
It's the Beauty
love
Brand
that.
Playbook. So, when I started Nature Syrup Beauty, it's evident that I had no idea that it would be what it is today. But I knocked on a whole lot of doors. I talked to, what's even weirder is I went to Google because I knew that I wanted to be in retail stores. I knew I wanted major distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, my labels were very shabby. I was writing like lemon pound cake on the containers, and things were just very,
Not
shabby,
shabby, but they were in the beginning stages. You were
very
developing.
early stages.
Mhm, mhm.
But I went to Google and I said, well, I need somebody, I need an agent. I need an agent. I need someone to represent me when I go and talk to the likes of Target and Walmart and
Mhm.
Ulta and Sephora. So I met my agent. I mean, I didn't know they were going to be my agent at the time. Literally, I found about five companies and I reached out, and the one guy said, yeah, well, come on in. We'd love to talk to you. So I went in, and of course, I was so far from ready, but they were so nice. They were so nice and so kind. And they had already helped other brands to launch into Target. Like they had a very strong relationship with Target and Walmart and Fleet Farm.
Mhm.
So the guy said, okay, he was a president at the time. I'm going to introduce you to my daughter-in-law, who was like a project manager at the time. And so I spent some time with her. She, took a liking to me. And they kind of guided me through the steps of just getting ready for retail. Like these are some of the things you need to do. You need to,
Mhm.
if you want to be in Target, you need to go into a Target. You need to look at all the products. You need to price them. You need to look at the colors. Like what do you want your brand to
Great
look like?
advice.
What do
Yes.
you want people to feel when they see your products? So
Mm.
Okay, 2 years go by. I'm still having conversations with them, and nature syrup is just, we're churning along, just, moving along.
Mhm.
And eventually, we all realize that this is a real thing. The father in law retires,
Mhm.
the daughter in law becomes the president of the
Mm.
company. So she says, I'm going to introduce you to this manufacturing company.
Mm.
And they introduced me to the manufacturing company. The manufacturing company was like, okay, you have some, great formulas, great ideas, curly hair is definitely something that the ecosystem needs.
Mhm.
Um, we'll be in touch.
Oh.
So we went like maybe a year or two, just building this relationship, talking. The owner of the company, who I really became really close with, he ended up selling the company, the manufacturing company, and he left. And the chemist, who I had become really good friends with, and the chemist project manager, who I had become really good friends with, both left that company. And now they're my chemist and my project manager.
Oh, what a great story.
Isn't that a great story?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
very cool. Yeah.
um, I have a great relationship with my chemist, and we talk about the formulations, what we need. Like, we don't want parabens, we don't want sulfates, we want things that people can really trust to put on their skin. So, with that being said, those are lessons that I had to
Mhm.
learn over time. Those
Right.
lessons I have put in this book for people who are starting out building brands. Like, people don't have to start from point A. You can literally buy this book, and there's also like an action plan in here, a 5-year growth plan template,
Oh,
and
that's so needed.
there's a
Yes.
lot of tips. I call it my tip book. So
I
there's
love
like
that.
7 major tips that people need to think about when they're starting a beauty brand, or if they're running a beauty brand and they know within their heart that they're running it shabby.
Oh, right. No, no, well, and that is, definitely if someone's coachable, this would be a very good book for them.
That's a
And
good point, Carla. That's a great point, because it's hard to take advice sometimes. But
Mhm.
when you want to grow, you have to take advice.
Absolutely. I had another, question that I thought was really a good one. Have you explored franchising your culture experience, shop? The concept of that.
I have not, but that is a
Yeah,
great
that's a
idea. And I
great
think I've been asked that question before. I would like to test it some more. It
Mhm.
needs to be tested, I think.
Yes.
And I think everything that we're doing right now will be our test.
Yes, retail can be as you know, which is one of the reasons you were apprehensive.
Yes.
A retail shop can be tough to build, but being in Macy's and Walmart and some of those bigger retail chains, it's nice to be a part of that and have your
Right.
display there. Let them pay the rent and the lights and the all of
Exactly.
that. Yes, and also great book, nice gift for people who want to build. Absolutely, what a great book, and what a great book to give as a gift whether Father's Day, Sunday, graduation gifts. A lot of kids they're saying that are graduating are wanting to start their own businesses. So what a great from
Yes.
someone who's been there in the trenches, the grit, the
Yes.
days you want to quit. You can people can read this book and learn from maybe some of the things like you said, some of your maybe I don't know if they're mistakes, but pivoting and trial and error.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I mentioned in the book that I think is really important for us to talk about is
Mhm.
I wasn't valedictorian. I wasn't on the cheerlead. I mean, I was on the cheerleading team, but I wasn't, someone who got A's. I wasn't someone who always came in first place. I literally came in third place in the spelling bee, and I studied for weeks, and I still came in third place. And it occurred to me when I came in third place in the Goldman Sachs pitch contest out of 250 women that you don't have to come in first place all the
Mm.
time.
No.
as long as you finish and run your own race.
Mhm.
And that's what this book is really about. It's about running your own race, finishing what you start, and being good at it.
Oh, I
Not,
love that. Yes.
being good at it, and really striving for perfection because nobody's perfect. But I do strive for perfection.
Mhm. Well, and that's why your products have scaled to the level they are and will continue to because of that. What else haven't we covered that you were hoping to today?
What else? I will probably remember when we.
Right.
Um, it takes a village.
Yes.
It
Yes.
takes a village, and my village is incredible. Starting with my husband, my
Mhm.
children, my close and dear friends. Um, I probably don't say it enough, but I really, really appreciate everyone who has ever sat at my kitchen table and placed a label on a container, anyone who's ever come out to help me put up a tent.
Mhm.
It's important to build a strong village around you because when you need it most, you need people you can trust. And I've had a solid foundation of people that I can trust, and people who love me and people who love nature syrup.
Yes. Well, there are many people that love both. I do know that. How can someone get a copy of your book?
Yes, yes. So the book can be found on the Nature Syrup website. You go to the Nature Syrup website, it is there. Just type in playbook in the search bar and it will come up.
If there is a description above this video of everything we're talking about, and I believe I put the website. If not, I will go back in and put it on everywhere we are. So that way you can all get your book. You're welcome. People are saying thank you.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Is there anything else that we haven't covered? I know there's
Well,
some.
let's see. The Curls and Culture Lounge is only open 3 to 4 times a month.
Okay.
If you subscribe to our website or follow us on Instagram, you will get those dates. Right now, we have a 15% off promotion on all of our body butters.
Oh, great.
All of our body butters are our top selling products. So people love it. Um, you can actually use it on your hair or skin. It is just the most delicate, precious, luxurious skin cream. Yeah, so today would be the day if you want to try it.
Oh, that's great. So is if they go to your website to order products, they'll be able to get the 15% off, or is there a special
It's
code? Or
yeah, you don't need a code. It's
okay.
just marked down already.
It's marked down. Okay, perfect, perfect. And if anyone has questions, but they didn't feel comfortable writing in the comments, feel free to private message me. I can also, I'll put the website in too, so you can reach out directly. I'll make sure you're able to be connected to Devana and her team as well. Should you have questions that you just didn't feel comfortable, I know some of the beauty stuff can be private.
That is true.
Yes.
That is
Um,
true.
Gosh, well, I am so grateful for you taking time out of your busy schedule to join my viewers and I and to share more about Nature Syrup Beauty, your story, where you started, and where I have a feeling, like I told you earlier, this will eventually be dust in your tracks. I just see this continuing to scale, and thank you for all you're doing, not only in Ghana but here in the community.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate having the opportunity to talk about nature syrup, the women of Ghana, and
Mhm.
yeah, the social impact that we're making. So thank you so much. It was so nice to have this girlfriend time with you.
It was, and you know what? We'll do it again, and maybe sometime we can even do it from the Curls and Culture Lounge as well. I have to
Yes.
bring my equipment in, but for sure, this is always works great. And please remember, everyone, that we do go live Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Time. However, next Tuesday I will be in Las Vegas for some
Ooh,
business and pleasure, and
nice.
but then we'll resume our Tuesday show on June 24th. Stay tuned for that. And then, of course, we'll just continue that. But I'm thankful for all of you tuning in, watching, supporting us tonight. Minnesota's lifestyle and business experts, we've been bringing you the best kept secrets, businesses, organizations, people, and products since 2003. We are the Twin Cities' longest airing television community showcase, and we couldn't do that without all of you. So thank you, and thank you for all of your support, and thank you for your comments. She said it's such a interesting interview, and I agree. You wonderful job, Devana, and thank you again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And we'll see you all on the 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time, right here on Around Town TV. We'll see you then. Bye bye.